documenting and communicating financial activities and performance over a specific period of time, okay, for your business, which you are already undertaking. That's just that's what financial reporting is all about. Trying to document and then communicate whatever financial activities, which is the buying and the selling, okay? The expenses and all that you do in your business. Your ability to document them and then properly put them together in the various books of account so that you can be able to know what your business is all about. And use it to decide whether you are moving forward or you are moving backwards. That's what it means. Are we okay? As simple as that. So it's just a process. Now, this reporting can be quarterly. When you talk of quarterly, that's 3 months, right? Hello? When you talk of quarterly, you talk of 3 months, right? Or annual, biannual, or okay, which is 6 months, or annually, that's 12 months. So it depends on, sometimes some businesses or some CEOs prefer even to have these details monthly so that they know the progressive nature of their business monthly. So that every time, how much did we spend this month? How much did we sell? All right? How much did we sell? How much did we, so everything they do. So for that particular month, they do it, then they know where they are. Did I make profit this month? Or I didn't make profit? Did I lose? So all will be put in. So as a continuous process, by the end of a quarter, they have already known for 3 months, this is where I am. Then for 6 months, this is where I am. Then 1 year, this is where I am. Reporting now is a very integral part of your business. That for a business to actually survive, there is no how you will survive it without knowing your actual operations. There is no how without knowing your actual operations. And the actual operations is all about money. How much did you spend? What did you do from social period? This is the typical example of a statement of shareholder equity. So you will discover that the first column is showing common stock, right? And then the second one is paid in capital in excess of par. That paid in capital in excess of par, which means that it then shares thing is 1 naira. Some of you that registered for in CAC incorporation, you will see that maybe 1,000 shares at 1 naira each. How can it? 1 million, sorry. 1 million at 1 naira each. How can it? 1,000 each. No, it's 1 naira each. Usually. 1 million shares at 1 naira each. That gives you 1 million naira shareholding. Check your CAC later. Now,
that is NAFDAC.
Are we together? So, once that happens, you discover that shares, instead of, I said this 1 naira, because you need more money to start your business, you will decide that Kuza to sell the shares in 50 naira per share. Ko 100 naira per share. Are you getting it? Meanwhile, the real face value, which is the par value now share thing, is 1 naira per share. So, Kowa, who one day is subscribing, is a part of our business, share code air, that naira code. So, which means that it don't put in yet they say shares without them. It then code the share, when I say 1 naira, now as a that's what? 100,000. Am I right? Yes. Fine. So, when they say 1,000 shares, now as a 100 naira each. You are sure? So,
100,000. So you can see how you will now generate money. So again, if you come and enter it in the books of account, when they save 100 shares, listen to me carefully. The person who bought 100 shares, because it is 1 naira per share, for power value, when the first column, that's our mission. Now, 100 naira. Yeah, even though he paid what?
100,000.
Even though we say 100 naira per share,
yes,
and he bought 100 shares, yes, that's 10,000 naira.
Yes, 10,000.
Am I right?
Yes.
So even though he paid 10,000 naira, instead you bought 100 naira, you bought 1,000. I mean 10,000. So you put 100 naira here for him. I call him number 2. Then second column thing, which is paid in excess. There's about 9,900.
Wow, it was quite interesting, very impactful, because this is my first time of attending a business clinic in my life. So I think I learned so much from the training. My takeaway today is I've learned about emotional intelligence in business operation. I've learned about the skills that I will use in managing my customers, customer care, and I learned about taxation. I didn't really know that taxation, that as an entrepreneur, I have to pay my taxes. So I've learned much. And I've learned about how to operate my balance sheets and financial statements. I think all the aspects of the training is something I'm going to be implementing in my business, most especially the customer care, because most of the times we are not the ones staying. We have girls, we have workers, so we need to teach them how to manage our customers so that we don't end up losing them. And I also learn about, how to maintain my markets, sustaining my markets.
You so regret your life. So it's affecting a lot of businessmen and women into venturing into business. And these things, until we correct these problems, we will never be better off. Everybody, ideally for you to be a dealer, you need to have attained some certain level of what you can deliver before, and should be licensed to do so. But where the market is not regulated, everybody does what he wants. Everything is turned into union. Everybody form a union, and they say we will deal with people. So there's always that problem.
After the first training we went to, I learned a lot, and with that in mind, when I got the notice for the next meeting, and they said it's a business clinic, I became very interested, and I promised myself to make sure I arrange my affairs to be here today. And I'm here today, and I've learned a lot. Yes, I've attended a lot of trainings, a lot of seminars, but I must tell you, this is exceptional. The previous training, I learned how to prepare a business continuity plan, which is different from what I used to know. I now can train someone else on how to write a complete and comprehensive business plan. That was from the previous one. Then this is like an extension of what I have learned the last time, and I must tell you that a lot of lessons have gotten into me today, especially in the aspect of my financial reports. I know now what it involves to keep a financial report in order to see how progressive my business is going on. So I've learned it today. For example, I used to believe that having a balance sheet comes every annually. But from today's clinic, I've found out that you can do that even biannually or even quarterly. In fact, I have learned also how to make my report very, very comprehensive and clear, and also how to invite those that will come and help me analyze my business, and also how to pay my tax, because sometimes I don't even really know what the tax is all about. But from today's lesson, I have learned the different types of tax and how it will also affect my business by not paying those taxes.
So if you are dealing in, let's say some of you that you are in manufacturing or whatever processing, the issue is that the materials you are using for your production, you need to know which level you will be when you need order new ones. So that before they arrive, these ones may be finished. So that production will be continuous. In Shagoni, you are running, you need to have a continuous replenishment. You have to be replenishing replenishing continuously. Okay? So that is what is called the inventory control.
So, when it comes to Brave, I've been attending meetings, I've been attending different things. Brave is just, when they talk of Brave, is brave. The name is Brave and is brave. You understand? Because we have learned a lot that will help us that our businesses, there is no way the businesses will collapse. Only if you did not follow the way they taught you, only if you did not follow the rules and regulations given to you. That is why you go into business and collapse. When it comes to clinic, like today you said the way I am, but when I heard that clinic, I said I must be there, because a lot of things in the clinic the other time I learned that you can diversify. It's not only that to stay on business like we that we are into fashion. It's not only to be sewing. You can diversify to the extent that you can be selling the tailoring materials. That is another source of income which you can make. So a lot of lessons, like today now when it comes to tax, you understand, they let us know how to do our tax and our emotion, which is very, very important. Like me, for instance, sometimes some customer will come to shop like this. They'll just be bragging, why do you sew clothes like this? Why do you do this? I'll just say, madam, calm down, just go home and test your clothes. At the end of the day, when they got home, test the clothes, they discover it's perfect, they will be the one to beg me, sorry ma. But let now assume the emotional is not there. The way they are bragging and bragging, it affects the business.
The balance of that 2,000 naira, instead of 2,000 can be 4. That 2,000 is your prepaid. So it is an asset. Are you getting these logics there? So by the time you put all of them together, say total current. So fixed asset. Okay. One of the central AC. One of the one I'm building in now an issue. One of the motochi now when you can say so. Yet the recipients all of them they form your fixed asset. So kujeru, so tebura, so their furniture, they are all your fixed asset. Now I can say so. Yet the can say so zaka sasu they are fixed. Zaka rubuta so that's a fixed asset. Because duran the kagadama zaka can say this. And kuma the suka ke kudi.
Wow, Brave Women training has been a wonderful training for me. It has opened my eyes to a lot of things that I need to know about my business. A lot of things that I've been ignoring before now that I don't even know. I've come to know how to run my business better and even to improve my productivity. Yes, from the previous one, I were taught and I have actually learned how to develop my PCB and even how to manage my staff. Another thing that I've come to really learn from Brave Women training is how my business can run without me. Before now, I do virtually everything. I used to think that I can't leave this business for a while. But one of the things our consultant first made me to understand is that she could travel anywhere and her business still runs successfully. Now I've come to put that into my business. In fact, the reason why I could be here today is because I have learned how to leave the business running. There's a system that runs now in my business. Whether I'm present or not, the business runs perfectly. Of course, the business clinic has been beneficiary to my business and even to me as a person. In fact, from what we learned today, I learned emotional intelligence. That's one of the aspects that I really enjoy about this third quarter business clinic. Before now, I know I'm somebody who have emotional intelligence, but I've also come to realize that there's also emotional dullness. A situation whereby you what you're supposed to do or how you're supposed to handle something, you handle it negatively, and it have an adverse effect in your business. So I've come to, in fact, each of the business clinic I attend, I've always have a take home, something to go back to improve on my business. One of the first things we're taught today is financial reporting. I'm going to go back with that, ensure that we have adequate financial reports. And also the tax, I've also come to notice, I'm learned that no matter what, we have tax that we need to remit and pay usually. If you accumulate it, you can't leave it unpaid. So the earlier you pay it at the due time, the better.
It's very interesting. I've learned a lot. I learned a lot about my business. And in fact, what I learned between Saturday and today is that when you are registering with this CAC, your objective must be in line with what you are doing in physical life. Then, the workshop we did in August back, I learned a lot from there about the business, bookkeeping, in fact, some tools that I don't use. Yes, it does. In fact, it exposed me to some things that if you are doing business or you already have a business, there are something that you ignored before, but now I will not ignore it. My CRM, I will look at it very well. I should know my customer very well. Have good relationship with my customer within and outside. Then another is that in this business, I would like to have more customer outside Gombe State, which may be through online contact or something like that. But I want my business to not remain only Gombe, to be outside Gombe State.